Welcome to Mykonos, one of the popular islands of the Mediterranean and the jewel of the Aegean Sea. Mykonos is known for its gorgeous scenery, beautiful beaches, whitewashed houses, incredibly narrow roads, and stray cats. A lot of stray cats. Come with me on a journey through the heart of Mykonos, where I'll share stories of its history, its places, and its culture. I'll also be dropping a few tips for folks that might be planning to visit Mykonos, so be on the lookout for those. During our stay in Mykonos, we stayed at the once Mykonos luxury resort in Ornos, a beautiful beachfront town. The resort is known for its modern design and impeccable service. Just waking up to this view for a week made our stay even more memorable. I highly recommend this resort as it is the perfect place to relax and unwind while enjoying all that Mykonos has to offer. After fueling up with breakfast, we embarked on our day's adventure. Little Venice is one of the most famous and iconic areas of the island. Known for its colorful buildings, narrow streets, and stunning views of the Aegean Sea. The origins of Little Venice can be traced back to the 16th century. During this time, wealthy merchants and ship captains built elegant homes and mansions along the seafront, creating a Venetian-inspired district. The name Little Venice was coined due to the architectural resemblance of the buildings in Venice, Italy. Over the years, Little Venice has gone through several transformations. In the 20th century, some of the buildings were converted to bars, restaurants, and shops, making it a lively entertainment district. Today, visitors can enjoy Greek cuisine and shop for souvenirs while admiring the azure waters of the Aegean Sea. A 10-minute walk south of Little Venice takes you to the Windmills of Mykonos. Located on a hilltop south of the town of Mykonos, the windmills were built centuries ago by the Venetians who ruled the island back in the 16th century. They used the wind energy to grind wheat and barley, which were two of the most important crops on the island at the time. As time went on, technology improved and the windmills were eventually replaced by electric mills. However, the windmills were not demolished. Instead, they were preserved as a reminder of Mykonos' rich history. Today, the windmills have become a popular tourist destination. A few tips if you're thinking about visiting Little Venice. Wear comfortable walking shoes. If you don't have a bike or scooter, the only way to get around Little Venice is walking, so you want to wear shoes that are comfortable for walking long distances. Second tip, go early in the day. If you're planning to go to Little Venice during the busy summer months, plan to go between 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. as it starts to get busy from noon till sunset. Another tip if you plan on renting a car. There's free parking at the Old Port in Mykonos, which is a 10 to 15 minute walk from Little Venice. So you can park at the Old Port and make your way down to Little Venice. For those taking taxis or private cabs, you'll want to get off at Fabrica. Fabrica is the closest bus station to Little Venice. As a matter of fact, certain vehicles are prohibited from going past Fabrica's bus station. And if you plan on taking taxis, you'd be better off going early in the day because as of June 2023, there are only 31 taxis on the island. So if you're planning on getting around with taxis throughout your stay in Mykonos, you'd stand a better chance of booking a taxi before 10 a.m. The Old Port of Mykonos is a historic landmark that has played a vital role in the island's development for centuries. The port was built by the Venetians in the 16th century and served as a major trading hub for the region. It was also a popular destination for pirates and other seafaring raiders. In the 18th and 19th century, the old port was a crucial stop for merchant ships traveling between Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. The port's strategic location on the western side of Mykonos made it ideal for trade, as it was sheltered from the strong winds that often batter the island. Today, the old port of Mykonos is still a popular tourist destination and the perfect dock for cruise ships, allowing passengers to disembark so they can explore the town and take in the beauty of the island. We booked a cruise from the old port to the neighboring island of Renia. As the boat pulled away from the old port, we watched the sun sparkle on the calm waters of the Aegean Sea. It was truly an unforgettable moment. Renia Island is a small island just off the coast of the famous Greek island of Delos. Renia has a rich history dating back to ancient times. In ancient times, Renia was used as a necropolis for Delos. The Athenians, who controlled Delos from the 5th century BC, prohibited anyone from being born or dying on Delos, so pregnant women were taken to Renia to give birth. Renia was also used as a place of exile. The island was largely uninhabited during the Middle Ages, and in the 19th century, Renia was used as a quarantine station for ships arriving from the Middle East. Today, Renia is appreciated not only for its historic importance, but also for its natural beauty, its pristine beaches, and clear waters. Upon docking at Renia, a lot of passengers couldn't wait to take a dip in the crystal clear waters of the Aegean Sea. About 7 kilometers off the coast of Mykonos is a small island called Delos. Delos has a long and important history, dating back to the Bronze Age. According to Greek mythology, it was believed to be the birthplace of the twin gods Apollo and Artemis. In the 6th century BC, Delos became the site of the Delian League. The Delian League was an alliance of Greek city-states that was formed to fight the Persian Empire. The Delian League was headquartered on Delos, and the island became a wealthy and prosperous center of trade. In the 1st century BC, Delos experienced a period of decline due to a combination of factors, which included the Mithridatic Wars, pirate attacks, the rise of other ports, and the decline of the Delian League. By the 7th century AD, the island was largely abandoned, and it was not until the 19th century that it was rediscovered by archaeologists. Today, Delos is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a popular tourist destination. Their journey back to the old port was a party on the water, with everyone singing, dancing, and just happy to be alive. So, here's a fun story. While taking drone shots at Renia, my drone's battery was running low, so I tried to land it on the boat, but ran into some issues avoiding the masts, and it unfortunately fell on this man. He picked up the drone and was about to throw it overboard. Apparently, he thought it was a UFO. But this woman stopped him and she said, "That's my photographer friend's drone." So backing up a bit, right before the boat left the old port, this woman had seen me taking photos and flying a drone, and she had asked me to take photos of her with her phone, and she was really impressed with the photos that I took. Okay, back to the story. Immediately she saw the man about to throw the drone, she put two and two together and stopped him. Moral of the story: learn how to take good photos. It just might save you a $900 drone. Day 3 was beach day. There are quite a few beaches in Mykonos, but they all looked really crowded online. So I did some research to find less crowded options, and we found one that was perfect. Since Ubers were not allowed in Mykonos and taking a taxi would have been ridiculously expensive for a 25-minute ride, we decided to rent a car to get to the beach. About 7 miles north of Mykonos is a secluded beach called Agios Sostis. The beach is named after the nearby church of Agios Sostis and was built in the 17th century. Paralia Agios Sostis is a small pebble beach with clear turquoise waters, making it a popular destination for swimming, sunbathing, and snorkeling. There are also several hiking trails in the area that offer stunning views of the surrounding countryside. The beach was not developed for tourism until the 70s, and it remained relatively secluded until the 90s. Today, Paralia Agios Sostis is a popular destination for tourists. This beach is also a great place to relax and also the perfect choice for folks looking for a secluded beach with a relaxed atmosphere. One thing to note about Paralia Agios Sostis is, the beach is located at the bottom of a steep hill. We drove in from the south, so we had no idea there was a paved path ahead to get to the bottom of the hill. As a matter of fact, I wasn't aware of the paved path until I saw the drone footage when we got back to the hotel. Now, because we couldn't see the paved path from where we parked, we had to take the very dusty, incredibly steep and unpaved path to get to the bottom of the hill, and it wasn't fun. Trust me, if you decide to take either of these paths and you're not careful going down the hill, you might get hurt. So depending on where you're coming from, be sure to take the paved path to get to the bottom of the hill. The beach is one of my happy places. I love the sound of the waves crashing on the shore and the feeling of the wind on my skin. The tranquility at the beach is something I always look forward to. The waves are constantly changing. They are never the same from one moment to the next. The waves at the beach feel like a metaphor for life. Life's constantly changing, and sometimes these changes come with their own unique sets of challenges. To maintain sanity, we owe it to ourselves to find something that rejuvenates our soul. And for me, that thing is the beach. Located in the Kastro neighborhood of Mykonos town is the Mykonos Folklore Museum. The museum was founded in 1958 by Professor Vasilios Kyriazopoulos, a local historian and archaeologist. The Folklore Museum is housed in a traditional Mykonian building that dates back to the 16th century. The museum's collection includes a wide variety of artifacts that showcase the island's rich cultural heritage, including traditional costumes, household items, tools, and agricultural artifacts. Today, the Mykonos Folklore Museum stands as a testament to the island's rich cultural heritage, offering visitors a glimpse into the traditions and way of life of its people through carefully curated exhibitions. About 8 kilometers from Mykonos is the famous monastery of Panagia Tourliani, located in Mera. It was founded in 1542 by 2 monks from the Panagia Ekatolapiliani Monastery of Paros. In 1767, the monastery was restored because an icon was found by a group of fishermen. It was floating in the sea near the village of Tourliani, and the fishermen believed that it had been miraculously transported there from the island of Patmos. The icon was brought back to the monastery, and the islanders were so impressed by its beauty and its supposed miraculous powers that they decided to restore the monastery in order to house it properly. Throughout its history, the monastery has played a vital role in the spiritual life of Mykonos. It has served as a place of worship and a center of religious activities for the local Orthodox Christian community. Inside the monastery, you can find a remarkable collection of icons, religious artifacts, and ecclesiastical treasures that provide insight into the island's religious heritage. Today, the monastery of Panagia Tourliani continues to be an important religious and cultural site on the island of Mykonos, welcoming tourists interested in exploring its rich history and architectural beauty. Final tip: plan ahead, especially if you're going to be filming or taking drone shots. This was a no-brainer for me since I was going to be taking a lot of drone shots. I needed to plan to get to different locations at the exact time I was permitted to fly my drone, so to ensure that I was on schedule, I used the TripIt app to plan the entire trip. And this app was indeed a lifesaver. This video is not sponsored by TripIt. I can't even say that with a straight face, like I just started this channel yesterday, like be for real. Anyway, if you plan on taking drone shots, you'll need to get your drone registered and apply for a permit from the Ministry for Infrastructure and Transport, so I'll link helpful articles in the description. I had a great time in Mykonos. It was a much needed break from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. I loved spending time on the beach, and I really enjoyed exploring and learning about the island's history and culture. If you learned something new, or you think this video was helpful in any way, please give it a thumbs up. And if this is the type of content that interests you, please consider subscribing. Until next time, bye for now.